Friends, today we're going to be subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, and we're going to do a bit of regrouping from our whole number, which is just borrowing from our whole number if we don't have enough for our subtracting. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do, as I always do, is I have 4 2/3, so I have a mixed number, minus 2 3/4. I like to circle my denominators and ask myself if they are like denominators or unlike. And in this case, I have unlike denominators. So I'm going to have to find my least common multiple so that I'm able to convert these fractions into equivalent fractions, but they have the same denominator. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do over here is find my least common multiple, multiple. So I'm using my m's to do my skip counting. I'm going to skip count by 3s, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I could keep going. The next m I'm going to skip count by 4s. That's my denominator, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. And again, I could keep going. So over here, I'm looking for my smallest, my least common multiple, my LCM. I'm looking for my least common multiple between the denominator of 3 and 4. And if I look over here, I can see that my smallest number that's the same on both my multiple, both my skip counts, was the number 12. So then I have to decide how many times I had to skip count to hit that number 12. So for 3, if the denominator is 3, I have to skip count 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And if my denominator is 4, I have to skip count 1, 2, 3 times. Okay, so then I come back over here to my original problem and I look at my fraction piece and I ask myself, if I have a denominator of 3, how many times do I have to skip count to get to that denominator or that multiple that would be 12? And we know it's 4 times, so I am going to multiply my numerator and my denominator by the same number. Anything I do to my numerator, I have to do to my denominator. So this is where a lot of kids make mistakes. You still have 4 as a whole number. You need to make sure you bring your whole number within your mixed number over. A lot of you forget this and it messes you up. All right, so then I have to go ahead and multiply. 2 times 4 is 8 and 3 times 4 is 12. All right, down here, I have to bring over my whole number of 2. You guys do like to forget that a lot. And then I ask myself how many times I had to skip count to get to my 12 for my denominator of 4, and that was 3 times. So I'm going to multiply my numerator and my denominator by the same number, so it's times 3. So 3 times 3 is 9, and 4 times 3 is 12. Okay? As always, I'm going to recopy this down here to this block. So 4 and 8, 12, whoops, minus 2 and 9, 12 equals. So right here off the bat, I notice that my 12s are the same. My denominators are the same. So I am allowed to add or subtract now. But then I run into a problem. I have 8, and I'm trying to take 9 from 8. So if you have 8 dogs in your backyard, can 9 leave? They can't. So this is where you have to borrow from your whole number. Okay, so I'm going to take my 4, cross it off, and I'll borrow a whole, I'm going to borrow a whole unit from this. So anytime I'm working with fractions, I like to make my life easier, and whatever denominator I've come up with, that's what I use to make my whole. So if I had a denominator of 100, 100 100ths would be 1 whole. If I had a denominator of 6, 6 6ths would be 1 whole. Well, I have a denominator of 12, so 12 12ths is equal to a whole. So if I borrow it over here from this 4, and the 4 becomes a 3 because I'm borrowing 1 whole, I have to add that 1 whole in a friendly fraction form of 12 12ths. Again, if I had a 6 as my denominator, 6 6ths. If I had a 5, 5 fifths. If I had a, 19, 19 19ths, okay? So make sure that you're using a friendly denominator for whatever you've already converted your denominators to. Okay, so there we go. So then we're going to bring over, we're going to kind of solve this, we're going to bring our 3 over as our whole number. You guys do like to forget your whole numbers. Now I'm going to add my 8 plus 12, which is 20. My denominator stays the same as 12. And all I have to do down here is this. I didn't have to like regroup or do anything with this bottom number. So I'm just going to bring that whole mixed number over as it is. 2 and 9 twelfths, and bring my subtraction sign over and bring my equal sign over. Again, here I have like denominators, so I'm going to use them. And up here, 20 minus 9 is 11, and 3 minus 2 is 1. So my final answer is 1 and 11 twelfths. And the 11 twelfths just happens to work out to be a simplified fraction already. But if that was not in simplest form, you would simplify the fraction, and then you would make sure you include your whole number. So that is how to subtract fraction with like denominators by regrouping, borrowing from the whole. Again, this is the part that's basically new. You're going to borrow. If you don't have enough for your numerator, you're going to borrow from the whole. That's going to become 1 less. And whatever your denominator is, 3/3, 12 twelfths, whatever it's going to be, whatever your denominator is, you're going to use that as a numerator and denominator because that would equal 1 whole. And you're going to, I use the parentheses because it's like our order of operations. We're going to solve that so that we're able to subtract that. Good luck, friends.